Listen to me, we don't have much time. This video is nothing but seriousness, okay? We really don't have much time. Time is of the essence, okay? I don't have time, you don't have time, you may have time, I don't know what you're doing. Matt doesn't have time, but we do.
What are you even talking about?
The time is of the essence, Matt.
I am time.
Matt is time, apparently. So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Apparently, Matt is time. So today, we are getting the STI ready to go to the dyno early next week. I'm not going to tell you guys which day because I, weirdly enough, don't want people randomly showing up at Josh's as we're starting to tune. So we have some stuff we got to do to the STI. I got to change spark plugs. I have to change fuel rails. I also have a nice Cusco X brace in that box back there that I want to throw on the car. That's the first thing I'm going to do just because I want to see it in the trunk. Anything to help with chassis rigidity, to be honest. I also have to swing out to the shop. Yesterday, these got dropped off. I do apologize if I'm very dark. It'll correct itself here in a second. I got these beautiful looking carbon fiber side skirts for the Evo, so I want to go get those dropped off because if I keep them in here, they're going to get damaged, and that is not what I want to happen. So, like I said, the first thing we got going on today is this Cusco X brace, and then we've got the radiant fuel rails. I need to make 2 new fuel lines for the return side. The whole point of me swapping these radiant fuel rails is A, they look dope, B, they have a -8 ORB in the bottom of the fuel rail to allow me to run my fuel pulse dampers off the bottom of the rail instead of having it come off the rail like it is now. Because currently this is my setup. The fuel pressure or the fuel pulse damper comes off the rail on this angle versus just mounting straight to the rail, which is what I would prefer because it's a little bit cleaner looking in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna have to scoot this intake manifold out of the way today. We'll find out. But first, like I said, let's open up this Cusco X Brakes box. I wanna see this thing. Aha! This is something I've wanted for years for the STI, but for some reason never bought it. I finally bought it. And of course, I snagged it from our friends over at Rally Sport Direct. And am I allowed to use my own discount code when I buy things? Is that like frowned upon, Matt? It's like my own, I used my own discount code, which works on Cusco parts. So if you guys are looking for this X Brake or any other Cusco goodies, use code Smeedia. It'll save you money. I think I saved like, I saved money on this. I don't know how much. Like you can't tell me that Cusco stuff isn't nice. Plus, you know, I like the fact that it's blue because my car's blue. So that's like a win in my opinion. This is very X-shaped also, like very X-shaped. The install's pretty self-explanatory, I feel like. There's some mounts. You mount up the mounts, you put the X-bar in the mounts, and then you put the bolts in the X-bar. This should, in theory, help with some chassis rigidity also. With the increased amount of horsepower we now have in the STI, I feel like this is probably a good idea. I need to open my trunk. It's so nice that all my OEM features still work. Scoop! Alright, I'm actually gonna push this thing forward a little bit to get the tripod set up, and then I'm just gonna get this thing installed and I'll show you how it mounts up. That was probably the easiest install I think I've ever done. If you don't have any like trunk mats in here, like obviously I have nothing in my trunk, it's stripped except for a battery and some fuses and whatnot. But honestly, super easy, you guys. Mounts up to the rear shock towers for the coilovers, and then it uses a stock mounting hole up there, and it looks good. And this actually will increase chassis rigidity. Also, like if I grab this, I can shake the whole freaking car off that thing. So awesome. I've been wanting that forever, and I don't know why it took me so long to finally buy it, but I think I'm gonna order some more Cusco stuff. Dude, I forgot I had this in here. I forgot this was here. You guys, I have the OEM Subaru grocery trunk hook. I guess this car actually is a grocery getter. So while I'm back here, I'm also going to pop off the STI wing. I have a feeling you guys know, or maybe you don't know. You'll see in a couple of videos, but the wing's coming off. You'll see why in a video or two. So to get the wing off, a couple 8 mils, couple pop clips, bada bing, bada boom, this whole thing will pop off. I'm gonna get the top of the trunk polished and cleaned up real quick, just while I'm back here. Then we're gonna jump up and start swapping out those fuel rails. right, we got our OEM wing off. I forgot that this car looks really good wingless. I kind of miss it wingless. At the same time, I don't miss it wingless. So I got the trunk cleaned up also. I just ran through, polished it real quick. I need to clay bar the whole car anyways, so it's not a big deal if it's a little bit dirty. So now that I've got the X-brace in, the wing off, I'm going to jump up here and start pulling out our fuel rails and all this fuel stuff. I'm probably gonna make a mess. I'm probably gonna have to remove this intake manifold to be able to get down to the fuel lines that run underneath the manifold. So I gotta start disassembly on this guy. So, frick, dude. Let's pull the manifold off. Let's just start with that. Got the passenger side fuel rail swapped out. The radium ones look nice. They're very compact. The fuel pulse damper just fits up under there very nicely compared to our old setup. So like if you look at this, you can see like beautiful fuel rail. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. It's not a big deal. This side you can see that we have to have our damper offset from the actual rail, which is kind of annoying. It is what it is. So luckily the radium ones will fix that problem. I am gonna have to take the manifold off because I am gonna have to build new fuel lines, at least feed and returns from the rails to the regulator and the Y fitting from the fuel pump. So it is what it is. No big deal. I think I'm gonna pull the manifold off now, just so that way I can access all that stuff, because I need to pull off the spark plug wires anyways to be able to change spark plug. So let's just pull everything out. Let's get it all off. Whoop! All right, we got both fuel rails installed now. I've got all the injectors plugged back in. This return line I was able to reuse and not have to remake. This side I'm definitely going to have to remake. I do need to change fittings up here on the front on both of the feeds as well, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatevs. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm gonna dig around through my AN bin box, which I think is that one up there, and see if I have any Dash 890s or 45s, because I think I'm gonna need either one for these fuel rails to make this work. The backside should just be a Dash 690, which I believe that I have already to a Dash 6 line. So I think I might just do that return line right there, and then we'll tackle the feed lines. So I realized I can't actually do any of the fuel lines until I have the fuel fittings I need, so I just ordered them. They'll be here Saturday from Amazon. Cutting a little bit close on this for dyno prep, but you know what? It'll be all right. I also ordered a new oil pressure sensor, all the fun stuff and whatnot. So I'm gonna jump to doing the spark plugs, swap these things out. The only reason I'm swapping the spark plugs this early after 500 miles is because of the e-tuning we have been doing. I'd rather go to the dyno with a fresh set of plugs. So let's go ahead, pop all 6 of these guys. Oh, fuck, dude. This side's going to be a pain in the ass. Let's go ahead, pop all these plugs out. Let's replace them all. Got all 6 of our spark plugs swapped out. Honestly, a lot of people ask how bad are spark plugs on this car. They're a lot easier on this than they are on like an EJ, I can tell you that much. There's just more room between the frame rails, except for that side where the fuel stuff is. That side's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Now, like I said, the whole reason I want to change the plugs is because we've been doing some e-tuning. Fueling's been lean, it's been rich, everywhere in between. So these are the plugs that came out. You can see like this is maybe 500 miles. This is from the last dyno session. Actually, no. Maybe not. I don't know. These plugs have like 500 miles on them. Like I said, car's been running all over the place. It's not fully tuned. So that's the main reason I wanted to swap these plugs. So now that this is done, there's not much else I can do with this thing until Saturday when the fuel line fittings get dropped off for me to be able to finish the return and the feed for our updated radium rails. I should have thought about that before I even went to put the rails on. But now over the past like 2 days or so, I've gotten in a lot of stuff for the WRX that I want to show you guys, and the Evo. We're running over to the shop here shortly to go drop some stuff off for the Evo. But let me show you what all we have, because a lot got dropped off and more gets dropped off tomorrow. So for the WRX, and this box is something I'm pretty excited for, which is an R180 rear diff. It's an STI rear diff for the WRX for our 6-speed swap. Starting to like hoard up a lot of the 6-speed swap parts so that way they are ready to go. Now back here's one of my favorite things that I got. These are OEM JDM power folding side mirrors for the WRX. They are World Rally Blue. I'm going to wrap these black. At some point I will get them painted, but for the time being, I'm just going to wrap them black. I actually may go to the extent of swapping these on right now, just because one of my mirrors is cracked and it's quite annoying to deal with. These do have the integrated turn signal into them. They have a motor in here, so the mirror will fold in and fold out. They also have the JDM blue convex mirrors on them. I'm going to try running the JDM mirrors on the USDM cars. I don't know how well that's actually going to work, because left-hand drive versus right-hand drive, the mirrors are made differently, so I don't know how bad or how off it's actually going to be for driving, but I will at least give it an attempt before I like start swapping out mirrors. On top of that, huge shout out to Cody for sending over an STI manifold for the WRX, as well as some IAG phenolic spacers, so thank you, Cody. Those will be going on here in the next revision, I'm guessing, of the WRX, but we are going to set these aside. Now you guys know we have all this stuff from Rally Sport Direct that we're going to be getting on the car here in probably the next video or so. And then on top of that, Evo parts got dropped off today, fender liners, gauges, things like that, and I still have to go take those side skirts over there. You know what, for the time being, I think I am gonna swap on. I don't want them blue right now though. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'll just live with my one broken mirror. Let me get the Evo stuff loaded up in the WRX, and then I think we're gonna go swing over to the shop, go drop all that stuff off. Hello, my WRX. How you doing, my friend? You are about to get a whole bunch of fun parts here soon. I got a puppy coming in here. Need that AC. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What you here? Hi, come here. Little dog. Are you ready to go to the shop to go get the stuff? Okay, we'll go. She is sleepy pup. We had to stop and get her a coffee. Otherwise, she'd get very grumpy. Isn't that right, Mochi? It's very right. That's very correct. It's also very bright outside. Ooh, all right, you guys, I got Evo parts dropped off. We got in some fender liners, another wheel speed sensor, one more of the gauges that we needed, the carbon fiber side skirts. I went ahead and I snagged the AN vice guys to be able to make the AN line for the STI. So I think we're good to jet out of here. Some of you guys were asking on puppy updates. Mochi is getting quite large and quite fed up. So we're gonna go back to the house and build some fuel lines. Mochi, hey, you're not driving. You don't have your driver's license. I gotta say though, the WRX is looking quite spicy. Like, that looks so good. Dude, I'm digging this thing. We're back. Got my AN jaws. Let me make this fuel line real quick for the STI. One less one, then we just gotta do 2 feed lines. Alright, you guys, sorry for like the flashing light. My hood light's dying. This thing has seen so many years of abuse. I'll link that down below. I accidentally crushed mine with the garage door like a 1.5 years ago. So with this, actually, I'm gonna order a new one of these tonight. With this, so I have both of the return lines good. This side, I didn't have to change anything for. This side, I found 2 -690s that I was able to use. So it just goes off the back of the rail here, goes down under everything over to our fuel pressure regulator down there. A part of me, like weirdly enough, a part of me wants to buy an all new engine harness loom and remake the entire harness, but at the same time, part of me doesn't, because it kind of sucked. But at least I'd have this one to go off of as reference. But I don't know, part of me just really wants to make a new one because I'm not happy with this one. I may order a new harness. We may do that over the winters, rebuild a better looking harness for this thing. This one was definitely a learning experience, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see, I don't know yet. Sick! So I think that's really all I got for you guys on this one. Sorry the videos have been going out late, like a day or so, you guys. There's a lot of things I'm trying to juggle right now to be able to just knock a whole bunch of stuff out all at once. The STI, I really wanted to get this car done in this video. The wing is back on, by the way, for anyone curious. I really wanted to get this thing done in dyno prep by yesterday, but ran into those fuel line issues. I searched everywhere for these friggin' Dash 8 lines, or Dash 8 fittings. I have none. I thought I had some sitting around. I don't. I ordered some. They'll be here Saturday. So the STI will be dyno ready by Saturday at minimum. Then I gotta bring the WRX in here, get the WRX dyno ready, and I'd like to get this pile of parts on the WRX that we got from Rally Sport, which huge shout out to the guys over at Rally Sport. They've been a massive, an absolute massive support in all of the builds, and I am we're gonna have a moment here. It blows my mind to think that I'm working with companies like Riley Sport Direct and some of these other guys, because it's just it's wild, because like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I ordered parts like strictly through these companies, and now it's to the point where I'm like working. It's weird. It's just weird. It's just, I'm so appreciative. I'm so like grateful to be able to have the opportunity to work with a lot of these companies and to have them jump on board and support the builds. It's just, I appreciate everything you guys have. It boggles my mind. It still blows my mind, because to me, I'm just still a dude in a garage, like documenting my builds, showing you guys how to do stuff, trying to help where I can with things, and it's mind-boggling. But anyways, I'm getting totally off track. STI and WRX both go to the dyno next week, so we got to get these cars pumped out and ready to go. Evo stuff should hopefully be starting up here soon, because I want to get that car running before winter time, but we'll see if that happens. So like I said, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. The color of the day today is blue. For blue, obviously, duh. World Rally blue. Gotta do it. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel and you want to see how much power this thing makes on the dyno, maybe you just like me, maybe you just like looking at my face, maybe you got nothing better to do, who knows? But I'll put it in one of these corners. You're an adult, you can totally do it if you want to. I'm not here to force you. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.